Hello Wrexham fans. How are you? I hope you're well, and look. Surprise departures and new signings. 4 bombshells today. Stay until the end and I'll tell you everything and more. But first, subscribe to the channel and like it to receive all the main news from the Red Dragons. Before I tell you the big news, here are the latest and greatest news from Wrexham AFC. The Red Dragons started the season with difficulty. Only 1 point in their first 3 league games. But look, in the EFL Cup, the team has already shown strength. Wrexham secured a 3-2 away win against Preston North End and advanced to the 3rd round. However, for Phil Parkinson, the biggest priority remains the league. He knows he has a lot of work ahead of him. And there's one thing everyone is talking about. Parkinson can't complain about a lack of support. Reynolds and McElhenney opened their wallets in the transfer window. Some signings haven't even made their debuts yet, but one in particular is already catching everyone's attention. I'm talking about Lewis O'Brien, the £4 million signing. He arrived with high expectations and, frankly, he hasn't disappointed. Since leaving Nottingham Forest and signing permanently with Wrexham, O'Brien has shown why he's played at such a high level in the Championship. He dominates the midfield, dictates the pace of the game, and even helps create attacking chances. He even scored a stunning goal in the 3-2 defeat to West Brom. In other words, he's arrived to take on responsibility. And I'm not the only one impressed. Teammate George Dobson made a point of praising him. He's a high-quality player. You can see it in the way he moves the ball, even in difficult positions. His fitness and the way he covers the entire pitch help me improve my own game. I'm really enjoying playing alongside him. Now, if O'Brien has already won over the fans, another player still needs to show more in the league. Lewis Brunt. No one questions his talent. Last season, he was even called the Rolls-Royce of defense. But at the start of the Championship, he seems to still be finding his feet. Against Southampton, he was under pressure in the final third. Against West Brom, his numbers weren't good. No interceptions, no ball steals, 1 dribble, 9 possession losses, and a yellow card after just 27 minutes on the pitch. Of course, the fans are worried, but an adjustment period is also normal. Parkinson knows Brunt's potential and is confident he will bounce back. After all, the season is just beginning. Did you know that, despite owning Wrexham, Reynolds and McElhenney have no say in who stays and who leaves the squad? Well, that's true. And it's even surprised them. Earlier this summer, Rob revealed that one of his favorite players had been released. And he only found out through social media. Can you imagine? The club's owner finding out like any other fan. And it wasn't just him. In total, 8 players were released by Phil Parkinson, who were nearing the end of their contracts in June. Some of them have already found new clubs, like Sam Dalby, who joined Bolton Wanderers, and Mark Howard, who signed with Salford City. And now, another important name has also found a new destination. Want to know who it is? We're talking about Jordan Davies, who had already confirmed his departure in May, even before the official release list was announced. In recent weeks, he had been training with the PFA to keep up his game and ended up standing out in several friendlies. The result? He's got a new club. On Wednesday, it was confirmed, Davies has signed a 1-year deal with Fleetwood Town. And check out what manager Pete Wild had to say about this signing. We felt we were lacking in some areas. I've always been a fan of Jordan Davies. I thought it would be a great move for us. We knew if we could bring him in, he would be a great acquisition. Now, tell me the truth. Do you also think Fleetwood made a good deal? Jordan Davies, it's worth remembering, was a key player in Wrexham's initial rise under Ryan and Rob. He played 139 games, scored 31 goals, and also provided crucial assists. And in his farewell, he wrote an emotional message to the club and also to Ryan and Rob. Check it out. My time at my hometown club has come to an end, and I can safely say we've been on a special journey. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine I'd be leaving here 5 seasons later, at a championship club. I want to thank all the players, the coaching staff, and especially at Reynolds and at McElhenney for changing the atmosphere throughout the city. Long may the journey for Wrexham continue. Really exciting, huh? Now I want to hear from you. Should Davies have stayed longer at Wrexham, or was his departure the best course of action for everyone? Now, let's talk about a situation that caught many people by surprise at Wrexham. For the Carabao Cup match against Preston North End last Tuesday, striker Ollie Palmer was simply not included in the squad by manager Phil Parkinson. And that's where the story starts to get interesting. Palmer, 33, is very close to leaving Wrexham this summer. And get this, there are only a few days left until the window closes on September 1st. In other words, time is running out. Earlier this week, rumors surfaced that he might join Sheffield Wednesday. But that move was never really considered likely. There were also rumors of interest from other clubs, including Dorking Wanderers, but that was quickly dismissed. So, what will Ollie Palmer's future hold? Well, according to journalist Nathan Salt, Swindon Town is very interested in the player. He even stated, "Ollie Palmer is about to leave. I know Swindon are really interested in Ollie Palmer, as are Bristol Rovers." And things moved even faster. Journalist Pete O'Rourke confirmed that Palmer is indeed set to join Swindon and that the deal should be completed within 24 hours. In his words, Wrexham striker Ollie Palmer is heading to Swindon today for a medical and talks, with the transfer expected to be completed within the next 24 hours. A great signing for Swindon. Now, the big question remains, will Palmer leave permanently, or could something similar happen to what happened with Paul Mullen? It's worth remembering that Wrexham is still paying half of Mullen's salary, even after he went on loan to Wigan Athletic. With Palmer, the situation could be similar. After all, he earns around £6,000 a week, having renewed his contract with the Dragons in October 2024. It's not a huge amount for a club currently in the Championship, but it could be quite a burden for a League Two team like Swindon. At the beginning of the summer, a name emerged that caught a lot of attention: Sunusi Ibrahim. Do you remember him? At the time, several websites reported that Wrexham was the front-runner to sign the CF Montreal striker. Ibrahim arrived in Canada in 2021 and has already played over 100 matches and scored 20 goals for the club. Not bad, right? But would he be a good addition to Wrexham? That's the big question. In MLS 2024, he scored 6 times in 26 games. However, in 2025, the outlook isn't looking good. He's already 9 games without finding the net. Even so, both Wrexham and Swansea City have expressed interest in the 22-year-old. And here's the scoop. According to journalist Pete O'Rourke, Swansea City is the frontrunner in the race to sign him. And what's more, Ibrahim has reportedly already told Montreal that he wants to join a championship club. In other words, he may be getting closer and closer to Swansea. Now, a fun fact. When he was first speculated about, many Wrexham fans said they didn't want him. And the fee was considered quite affordable, around £370,000. But aren't they underestimating the kid? After all, Ibrahim has already been touted as one of Nigeria's brightest prospects. Nigerian striker Taiwo Awoniyi himself made a point of publicly supporting him, saying, "I'll just encourage him to pray, keep working hard, and soon everything will fall into place for him at the right time. I think he's a great talent for the country." So, what do you think? Would this be a worthwhile move for Wrexham, even with their current poor form? Or should the club leave this deal to Swansea? In any case, the simple fact that Wrexham is vying for young, promising players already shows that the board is sparing no effort in the transfer window. It may be risky, yes, but it could also be another step toward the ambitious future the club is building. And don't forget, you are very special indeed. Hugs. See you later.